lot of public anger unloading here on the streets of Tehran. Thousands of people have come here to Revolution Square, first and foremost to criticize U.S. President Trump and to vow revenge for those strikes on Iran's nuclear facilities. One of the interesting things that we're seeing on the ground now here is that it's not only conservatives and hardliners who are here, but also people who say they're normally quite critical of the Iranian government.
Even if missiles rain down on my head, I will stay here, she says, and I will sacrifice my life and my blood for my country. This member of parliament says a lot of those standing here chanting slogans against the United States may have been critics of the policies of the Islamic Republic. But today, all of us are standing in one line behind the supreme leader.
People now chanting death to America here at Revolution Square, and you can really feel how angry a lot of them are towards President Trump. Of course, the Iranian government has said that it reserves the right to retaliate for those strikes on the nuclear facilities, saying that it is their right to have nuclear enrichment, it is their right to have a nuclear program, and it's not something that they're going to allow the Trump administration to take away from them. And that is certainly also the sentiment that we're seeing here on the streets of Tehran.
Well, by the reporting I've received, there were at least a dozen that were used. You could see 6 entry points at the Fordow facility, so it's quite possible that there were bunker buster bombs that followed the initial strikes into the same holes to reach deeper into the facility. It is the first time they've been used in combat. Of course, they've been tested extensively, and they appear to have worked as advertised, although we won't know for several days the actual extent of the damage. So there are at least 3 ways that U.S. intelligence will determine the effectiveness of the strikes. One is satellite imagery. We can see what we can see from above. The second is signals intelligence. So the Iranians will be chatting about what happened, and we'll be intercepting those communications and perhaps decrypting them. And then finally, the Israeli intelligence services have human intelligence operators on the ground and paid informants, and then they'll get some information that way. So between the 3 methods, the hope is that we'll have a pretty good handle on the extent of the damage and whether the nuclear program has survived in any form.
偷偷告诉大家，我最近发现了新法宝 Royal Face 逆时奇迹系列，它有活肤露、全效精华，还有精华霜。尤其我皮肤比较偏干，所以我非常的注重保湿。保湿做得好，肌肤自然丰润。提亮肤色更年轻，抚平皱纹超有感，而且气色变好。用心保养，每天都更美丽。美吧。